The Middle East conflict may be approaching a critical turning point. What has so far been a high-intensity confrontation between the key players, it could soon expand into a wider war. Welcome to TimesXP's War Updates with me, Priti Yatri. And the focus now, it is shifting towards the possible entry of the Houthis, a powerful group based in Yemen, known for its missile and drone capabilities and its strategic position near the vital global shipping route. Well, recent intelligence reports suggest that increased military activity in Al-Hudaydah, a key port city along the Red Sea. That's right, the activity includes the movement of weapon, deployment of launch system, and a rise in operational readiness. But let me point out here, it's very important to note that there is no official confirmation of an imminent attack. The scale and nature of the build-up, they are significant enough to raise the concern among analysts and governments alike. Can you see the timing? The timing of this development, it has drawn the attention here. Well, speculation is growing around the period even after the Eid al-Fitr, with some suggesting that this could be the moment when Houthis choose to escalate their involvement. Well, whether the timing, it is symbolic, strategic or accidental, it remains unclear, but it adds another layer of uncertainty to an already tense situation, right? Well, Al-Hudaydah's location makes it particularly important. Positioned along the Red Sea, it lies close to one of the world's most important maritime corridors. A significant portion of global trade, including the energy shipments, it passes through this particular route. So basically, well, any disruption in this area, it can have immediate consequences for the international shipping, leading to higher costs, delays, broader economic impact. If the Houthis, they were to enter the conflict in a more direct and sustained way, it would effectively open a new front. Well, this would transform the current situation into a multi-front conflict, with pressure coming from different directions now. But if we see it from Israel's POV, then this could mean dealing with threats not just from one front anymore, but from multiple regions, and that too simultaneously. For the US, it could complicate the naval operations and increase the risk to military assets operating in nearby waters. Well, there are also indications, though, that other regional actors like Hezbollah, they may be increasing their level of engagement as well. Can you imagine the scenario? If multiple groups become active at the same time, then the whole conflict could expand rapidly, making it more and more difficult to contain and increasing the chances of direct confrontation between the larger powers. If we see it from a strategic perspective, then a multi-front scenario, it changes the dynamics of the conflict significantly. It stretches defensive system, divides the attention and resources, and increases the likelihood of miscalculation. So even a small incident in one area, it can have ripple effects across other fronts too, escalating the tension further. Then comes the economic implications. They are equally serious. The Red Sea is a vital route, in fact, for everybody, global trade. So any instability in this region, it can disrupt the supply chain too. Countries that rely on this route, including India, everybody could face delays in shipments, increased transportation cost, and potential impacts on energy supplies. And this makes the whole situation not just a regional issue anymore, but a global concern. At this stage, it is very important to note that there have been no formal declaration from the Houthis about entering the conflict in a full-scale manner though. However, the reported build-up and strategic positioning, it suggests that preparations are being made for multiple scenarios. And in such a situation, ladies and gentlemen, actions on the ground often provide more insight than the official statement. So, in the end, the key question now is whether this build-up will translate into direct action. Well, if it does, then the conflict could move into a new phase, one that is broader, one that is more complex, one that is significantly more difficult to manage. And that is why the whole situation is being watched so closely, because the opening of a new front, it could change the entire course of this conflict.